What's going on, YouTube? I'm that Cologne guy E, and this is Simply Put Sense. And on this channel, we talk about some of the best and worst fragrances on the fragrance market today. And on this channel, my whole goal is to help you save time and money. So please subscribe if you are into it and you don't want to smell like everybody else. um, Guys, I hope you're having a great day. So the summer is coming up. It's crazy in New York right now. It literally looks like we're on Mars. You know, I feel like we're like way ahead of what Elon Musk was thinking, because I straight up feel like it's Mars right now. It's like it's insane. We're live at Bergdorf Goodman. And guys, I wanted to talk to you about a really, really interesting list of interesting fragrances that I am really excited to be wearing. A lot of these fragrances you know, but some of them you don't, I'm sure. But I basically wanted to offer people options, whether your taste is American cheese, whether your taste is like Gouda, or whether your taste is like that real dirty, skanky stuff. You know, I wanted to give you all like really cool options that no matter where you are in your journey, you might find interesting. What's going on, Shannon? Thank you so much for coming through. Been waiting on this one, fam. Let's get it. Okay, no doubt. I appreciate you, my brother. And of course, Micah. Thank you so much, Micah, for coming through. I hope you're well, man. Hope you're loving those samples also. Um, so yeah, guys, I've been really, really excited to experience some real heat. You know, sometimes like right now in New York, it's like we're being played with. You know, it's like a major fire going on all over Quebec, or no, Montreal, excuse that, and it is just raining smoke and Hades on the entire city of New York, or the entire state of New York, I should say. No, honestly, straight up, guys, it does. It looks like the red moon, straight up. Like we literally look like we're on Mars. It's wild. For real. It's nuts in the city, like a scene from a dystopian future movie. Oh yes, it really does look wild out there. But I gotta tell you though, you know, you do what you can. You know, you make the most of it. Just try to stay indoors. You know, this is a time to wear masks. I know a lot of people hate them, but you know, right about now, a mask actually wouldn't be a bad idea. You know, it's serious. It's serious. It's serious. But you know, hopefully this will blow over, literally, and we can start breathing fresh air again. Well, I mean, we're in an industrialized country, as fresh as it can be. You know, let's put it that way. Um, oh boy. Um, oh my gosh. I'm in Alabama. It's so hot you can see the heat waves. Yeah. See, that's that heat where you could cook an egg on the concrete, you know. Um, yeah, man, I can imagine it's crazy. So we haven't had that type of heat right now in New York, but man, I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm really, really excited for it. So I wanted to share with you all some options I'm going to be wearing in the day and in the evening this summer, which I'm excited about. So these are not fragrances that are going to be on no special order. I'm just going to be sharing with you fragrances that I smell that I really want to smell like in the summer. Amongst other things, let's be honest, I got a lot of options to consider, and I'm sure a lot of you do as well. And I am going to be, you know, wearing a lot of them out. But these are some cool options that I think are going to be appropriate, and you know, a lot of you all can access a lot of them, and some of you might have many of them. So if you love them, please chime in. Please let everyone know that they're good or that they're crap, whichever you feel. It's all good, you know. It's all love. By the way, what are you guys wearing today? What's your scent of the day? I'm curious. I'm gonna let you know right now. It's actually one of the fragrances that I am suggesting, and I'm gonna start with it anyway. So what fragrances have you been wearing, guys? What's your scents of the day? What fragrances are you curious to be wearing over the next few weeks. Let's see what's Daniel talking about. My next purchase, Diptyque Tempo and Cartier Pasha Parfum. Got off. Tempo is serious, man. Um, I really feel that fragrance. That's the patchouli joint from Diptyque, isn't it? Tempo is pretty dope. That's gonna be like a great fragrance to wear in the summer evenings, for sure. And that's the thing. Um, I'm at a place where like I don't want to smell fresh in a summer night. You know, in the summer nights, I'm going for options that are a little bit on the darker side. You know, I'm still going for the night out theme, but you know, of course, they have a freshness to them. But for the most part, I'm trying to keep it in a dark place, but not like a dark, thick, heavy place. You know, just a dark place. You know. Um, Apex by Roja. Go ahead, Micah. Damn. The parfum or the parfum cologne? Like the smaller bottle, the 50 mil or the 100 mil? I love the 50 mil. The 50 mil is so, so good. Very well done. Um, Scent of the day, Mr. Shannon. Moleculo 2, light work. Nice scent. Oh, nice. I was actually wearing Moleculo 1 plus Mandarin the other day. And you know what's funny? I was realizing something like it doesn't smell as good as it did last year, straight out the bottle. And that could be a lot because of the fact that, you know, they're adding like straight Mandarin oil to a bottle which has no cap. I mean, it ends up better than it starts, but in that beginning, it just comes across a little off. It's like, you know, it's a little cross-eyed, and then all of a sudden it rights itself, and all of a sudden it looks right. But in the beginning, that Mandarin is cross-eyed as a mug. So yeah, if you're into that fragrance, I would say wear the hell out of it while you can. And if you can find a cap for it, find something that'll fit on that bottle, cause yeah, I learned the hard way that Mandarin needs a cool place for sure, for sure. Like steady cool. Like that's a fragrance to put in your fridge. Um, let's see. Ah, Scent of the day, Poet of Berlin, Parfum, right? Wilhelm Parfum or Wilhelm Parfumerie? Wilhelm. That's a dope brand. Love that brand. You know, Carlos put me onto that brand. He literally gave me a fragrance called Purple Fig, and it's one of my favorite fig fragrances in the world of perfume. Scent of the day. Oh, nice, Chris. Oldie but goodie. Allure Homme Sport. Chanel. Go off. Go off. Great fragrance, gotta admit. Good afternoon. It's light blue forever today. See, now that is probably the best fragrance Dolce& and Gabbana has ever made. I'm gonna be honest with you, especially for the day, especially for the heat. That's probably the best fragrance I've ever smelled from Dolce& and Gabbana. Probably one of the best fragrances I've smelled from a designer brand. Um, doing a fragrance for the heat. Yeah, that forever. Oof, my goodness, man. Like, I was blown away by that fragrance. I have so many um, grapefruit scents that it almost didn't make sense to have it, but I really, really do love that forever. That forever is. I might actually pick it up at some point. I can't front. I might get it at some point. Don't hold me to that, guys. I got to be honest. I might get that at some point. Verduesco, that's a great scent, brother. We got to get my nose on Poets of Berlin. Good juice for sure. Definitely got to, you definitely got to smell that. A lot of their fragrances have like a really interesting style to them. They're like deep and thick and almost syrupy, you know, but not in an annoyingly sweet way. A lot of them are sweet, but they just come across deep, and I really like that about Wilhelm Parfum. Um, yeah, my man, Ricardo with the awesome, awesome designer fragrances. Probably one of the best designer releases by a designer brand in a very, very long time. Also, H24. H24 Eau de Parfum, one of the better ones for sure. Man, I love that scent so much, guys. Like when I spray that fragrance, I don't spray light at all. But then again, I don't spray light at all anymore at all. So, but that particular scent, oh man, I love to enjoy it. I mean, when I wear that fragrance, I wear the hell out of it. And it's a strong fragrance. It's not like a weak at all scent, but I don't know. I just love, love, love bathing in it. Like I'm talking about 7, 8 sprays, and that fragrance is intense. That's definitely a parfum. Usually, parfum fragrances these days they come across very light, and of course, they're meant to be deep fragrances. They're supposed to refer to the amount of oils in the perfume. But these days, a parfum doesn't always mean parfum. There's some parfum that act like a cologne. There's some colognes that act like a parfum, and some eau de toilettes that just don't know what it's trying to do. Sometimes they're like, that's probably the most schizo category in the fragrance world because it could either go to a 2-hour scent to a 10-hour scent. And it's like, but most of the time they're like in that 3, 4 hour level. But yeah, these days, parfums don't always mean what they are supposed to mean. Um, ah, man, you guys are killing me with these fragrances you're wearing. So first off, Tom Ford, Bois Marcan, go off. Damn, is it cool where you at? Is it cool where you are, executive? I'm curious. Like, are you just, you know, is it like 60 degrees, 65 degrees? Damn, that fragrance is a beauty, though. Oh, man. Bulgari Wood Intense Essence, Scent of the Day. Go off, Sean. I really like that scent, brother. I really like that scent. I feel like they've been beating the hell out of those Bulgari, the Bulgari Man line. That fragrance line has been like done to death. It's getting into that, Issey Miyake territory, but, or that, that Jean-Paul Gaultier territory where there's like a new bottle for every every season there's like a new bottle. But I like that wood essence for sure. That was a nice one for sure. What's my scent of the day? Well, my scent of the day, Mr. Shannon, is not a blue bottle. Histoire de Parfum. I feel like this brand is absolutely amazing. There's some people who really think that I'm like on some kick right now. And this is the fragrance. This is one of the fragrances that I'm going to be wearing a lot this summer. A lot of people, a lot of people find this fragrance to be very basic. When it first came out, and I'm going to check out when it first came out, people really, really crapped on it. And I really didn't understand why. Because to me, this perfume, I thought was approachable, not, the most, not the most, this is not a blue bottle is not the most natural fragrance in the niche world of fragrance. And it gets destroyed on FragranceNet. Let me show you guys, like this fragrance, a lot of people don't like it. But I really don't care because I think it's worthy. I think it's definitely worthy. Let me show you guys. So this is the fragrance, and let's get into it. So not a blue bottle. It looks like this, guys, from Histoire de Parfum, and it's considered aldehydic and musky with some citrus and spice, right? So when you go down and you read the ingredient list, aldehydes, orange, geranium, honey, musk, patchouli, and amber. I really, really, really mess with this scent. I don't know. And it's getting more trendy according to Fragrantica, although I don't know how reliable this little graph is, but it must respond to like how many people are searching for the scent or landing on this page. And it seems to be going in an uptrend, but this is a fragrance that why I like it. First of all, it sticks on me and it sticks on clothing. I tend to not wear a lot of musky fragrances on my skin. And when I wear this fragrance on clothes, like when I spray my collars, when I spray like, my sleeves, This scent sticks, and it sticks for a really, really long time. And I've constantly been told how good I smell when I wear it. And also I gotta also say, it is not the most basic of blue fragrances. There are way, way more basic blue fragrances. Like when I smell this fragrance, I don't think, oh, this smells like every old fragrance you'll find in Macy's. Like, it's not true. Like, there is something definitely niche about not a blue bottle. And I really, really dig it. It's approachable. To me, this is like entry level niche. This is American cheese going into that stinky stuff. But if you want to get to stinky, you got to go through a sense like this. This is like just a really approachable, easy entry level experience for niche perfumes for the summer. Like, this scent will just do an amazing job for you. And this is one of the reasons why it's going to be one of the fragrances that I'm going to be wearing a lot during the day. And this scent can easily translate into a night scent because of that base of patchouli. And the musk in the scent just comes across very clean. So you're just going to smell very, very clean. Don't let the patchouli fool you. I've constantly been told how good I smell when I wear it. I don't think that should mean anything, to be honest with you. I feel like this fragrance just smells really, really attractive. Whether you get a compliment or not, it doesn't matter. You're going to smell better than most men wearing this fragrance. That's just the bottom line. And so, yeah, I would definitely consider it. Histoire de Parfum, not a blue bottle. By the way, guys, you can buy these fragrances really, really well priced. These fragrances are extremely well priced. And that's what I was amazed by when doing some research for another video that I'm going to be launching at some point in the next couple of weeks, I would say. I'm going to be talking about in another live stream about niche brands that offer amazing price points and value for what they offer. So I'm going to do a top 20 like best niche brands that are not that expensive, basically, that are worthy of your time, that will have you smelling like a boss, but not like a boss that spent a ton of money to smell like a boss. You know what I'm saying? Not that you get what I'm saying. You're gonna smell amazing, period. You're gonna smell dope. And these brands will keep you smelling amazing, but they won't drain your pockets, and they're very affordable. I would say it like this: if you could afford Sauvage Elixir, if you could afford Y or the Parfum, whatever the hell, if you can afford those fragrances, you can afford these fragrances that I'll be talking about. Top 20 fragrances, under $200, pretty much. But not every bottle is going to be over 100 ml. But again, they're accessible under $200. But anyway, my first fragrance that I'm going to be wearing in the daytime, in the summertime, not a blue bottle, Histoire de Parfum. You're going to smell crazy. If you could wear this with a suit, you could wear this lounging with, something a little bit more casual. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, you're going to smell crazy, and it's not a blue bottle. So that was my scent of the day. And so we're just going to go on. Now, for the evening, for people who do not have the most, I would say, crazy, for people who are developing their taste in perfume and want to start off easy breezy, not something too wild, right? I have something perfect for you for evening. And it might be not as easy to find. Well, it is easy to find. And it's basically Moschino Toy Boy. Yeah. Moschino Toy Boy. Guys, I've been wearing this fragrance for a couple of years now. So I think wait a minute. I think this is one of the last fragrances that I talked about on my channel. I think this was in a top 10 list, if I'm not mistaken. And what I loved about it was how unique and interesting this fragrance was and how different it smelled for a fresh rose fragrance. I hated the bottle. I still hate this bottle. This looks so weird, This looks like something that will actually start getting up and walking towards you in your nightmares. Like, this is crazy right here. But it's like trying to be cute, but not really. It's like this is for dudes, so it's not supposed to be cutesy, but it's still cutesy, and it's kind of like, why did they do this? But it's Moschino, so that's why. They're always trying to do weird stuff, and They always do weird stuff. But I gotta say, this is a good scent. This is a really, really, really great fragrance. It's a rose fragrance, and I was really, really impressed by this perfume when I first smelled it. And I gotta tell you, to this day, I'm still impressed by this perfume. Toy Boy is a scent that, yes, the name, the bottle, it's whack. I ain't gonna lie. It's crazy, corny, but but the fragrance itself, it just smells really, really on point. What do I love about it, guys? Well, it has like a tea experience to me. Like when I smell this fragrance, it reminds me of like tea with rose petals, and that was like the first thing that you notice I took the cap off, right? I just had to. I was tired of holding that bottle with this cap on. But yeah, like this fragrance, it's it's really, really on point. When I first smelled it, I thought it reminded me of like an amazing tea, and it is a beautiful experience of tea and rose, but it doesn't have tea in the note breakdown. So like when you look at the breakdown of this fragrance, it'll say, and I know you guys have seen this before, but the note breakdown for this particular fragrance is pink pepper, which you really smell. Pink pepper makes fragrances come across spicy. It adds a freshness to fragrance, and I love pink pepper in fragrance. It has pear, and pear and bergamot are the only fruit in this scent, and it doesn't come across uber sweet either. You know, when you're thinking pear, you're thinking like Outremal by Jean-Paul Gaultier, which is like very, very sweet. It's like a toothache, but this is not a very sweet take on a rose fragrance, but it does have a spiciness to it, and it is enhanced with the clove, with the LME, with the nutmeg. And at the base, you get this Haitian vetiver, amber, sandalwood, and cashmerian. Cashmerian is definitely a fuzzy ingredient, in my opinion, something that gives off a almost vanillic, I guess you could say freshness. Well, no, a vanillic warmth to it with a freshness added. And I really found this fragrance to be on point. I'm finding it interesting that the trend of this scent is hot. It's definitely kind of leveling off, but it still seems to be a relevant fragrance, even though it came out over 4 years ago, or actually, well, yeah, almost 4 years ago. But I got to tell you, it lasts like this Consumer Report definitely indicates it lasts. And yeah, I really dig this scent. You're not going to smell like a lot of people. The majority of people that's buying this fragrance are people in the fragrance community who know that it's a good scent. Most people do not know this fragrance actually exists, and I really, really like it. And I would say that it's worthy of your time. And this makes a great night out option. A perfect night out option. And honestly, let's see. I would say if you're a person who likes fresh fragrances, if you're a person who digs a rose, but you don't want like a typical rose scent, you gotta consider it. I mean, the presentation is blah blah blah, but the fragrance is completely better. It's definitely worth attention, and I would easily recommend this scent as a great fragrance, especially to wear in the evening. If you're not a person that is like into perfume and you want to start like wearing fragrances that are good but that are not typical, go with this. Consider it. It's a really great fragrance to wear in the evenings during the summer. I would say I would easily put that on. That's going to be dope in my opinion. Another very, very easy breezy fragrance for the summer by a brand that most people don't talk about, by a brand that most people don't even know exists. It's called Baxter of California, and this is a fragrance called Pacific Cannabis. And this is going to be for a lot of guys who like a blue scent, but again, wants a blue scent that doesn't smell basic and doesn't want to spend a ton of money to do so. This fragrance is definitely affordable. You can get this for under $100. If I'm not mistaken, it could be purchased for much less than $100. But what I like about this fragrance is it does feature cannabis, but it's not like your typical cannabis fragrance. A lot of times when I smell cannabis perfumes, they do have like a almost like a candle-like smell. You ever smell those cannabis candles? That's how a lot of cannabis fragrances smell. They smell to me like cannabis candles, not like cannabis. You know, cannabis has a completely different experience, but I gotta tell you, this this Pacific cannabis fragrance and eau de parfum is really, really on point. Now, it's not a fragrance that's going to appeal to people who have high taste. Like if you are a person whose taste is up there, if you're someone who are buying Roja fragrances, you might find this a little bit not your speed. But if you're somebody who is getting into fragrance, but you don't want to smell like every other guy in the world of perfume who are always buying the same old, consider a scent like this. It's aromatic, it's fresh, it's clean, it has a little bit of a greenness because of that cannabis note. It's got a twist to it. So it's a fresh, basic, easy, breezy citrus scent with a cannabis base. And I gotta tell you, it smells on point. Let me show you about this perfume based on reviews or based on what it looks like on Fragrantica. And on Fragrantica, this is what the bottle looks like. Of course, I just showed it to you, but this is the scent. It's got a really good rating. I think this rating 4.41 out of 5. Is this fragrance better than fragrances that are like not as high than that? I wouldn't say so. But do I like this fragrance? Am I going to be wearing this fragrance for certain reasons, for certain situations? Absolutely. It's very, very easy breezy. It's a basic scent. And there we go. The note breakdown: rosemary, bergamot, my favorite spice, pink pepper, one of my favorite spices, I should say, sage, lavender, cannabis, driftwood, patchouli, and tonka bean. This scent, again, guys, it's not going to be like, I'm going to be honest with you. It's in that world of, it's in the world of, and that trend is schizo too. It's definitely in the world of like, you know, basic blue scents, right? But it's doing a basic blue fragrance in a cool, interesting way. So this is a fragrance that will definitely appeal to people who, again, are just getting into fragrance, doesn't want to spend a ton of money, but wants to smell nice, but not, again, common. There's no scent that is actually doing what it's doing, but it's within a family of fragrances that is definitely overdone. I'll be honest with you. But look at the reviews in terms of longevity. People definitely say it lasts, and it's not a beast, but it sticks to skin. I gotta say, I really, really dig it. It smells basic, but you're gonna smell good. And it definitely doesn't smell like Blood of Chanel. I swear sometimes when I watch Fragrantica and the things that people say fragrances remind them of, I'm wondering like, do they have COVID? Because they absolutely must have broken noses, because I don't get it. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. This doesn't smell like Blood of Chanel, but does it smell like shower gel? Yes. Does Blood of Chanel smell like shower gel? Yes. So yeah. So if you're a type of guy who would spend a ton of money on why get why? Get Pacific cannabis. Smell cool. Smell refreshing. Smell easy breezy. Smell like you're not trying to smell great, but you are smelling great. That's what this does. So yeah, that is going to be another scent that I'm going to be, well, amongst other scents that I'm going to be wearing in the summer. But another fragrance that I'm going to be wearing in the evenings in the summer is going to be a fragrance from, I don't even know if this brand can, I don't even know if you guys can get this scent. So forgive me if you can't get this fragrance. I'm absolutely sorry, but I really do dig it. It's called Y3. It's a Yohji Yamamoto fragrance. It's called Y3, and I really, really dig this scent. It kind of reminds a lot of people who smelled it. It reminds a lot of people of, it reminds people of La Nuit de l'Homme, believe it or not. And I could understand why, because there is a cardamom note in it that's very, very present. And cardamom, as you guys might know, is one of my favorite spice ingredients. I think, you know, it's really hard to make a fragrance with cardamom smell bad. It's really hard. I can't think of many. Anyway, this is called Y3 Black Label. It's not hard to find. It was hard to find for a long time. This fragrance came out a long time ago. A lot of people don't really talk about it. A lot of people didn't really talk about it, and I didn't get why. But actually, when I was able to, I don't know, somewhere there was some site had it available, and I bought two bottles. This is the second one. So I went through the first one really quickly. Sometimes when I find a fragrance that I like, I act like I have no other bottles and I get kind of into them. But it was worthy. And this is the second bottle of this scent that I have. It came out in 2013. This is a 10-year-old fragrance. And it doesn't smell like it's a 10-year-old fragrance. It really doesn't. I guess if you were to compare it to what's trendy now, I guess you could say that it smells like a classic, like 90s, early 2000s fragrance, but it doesn't come across like that at all to me. Let me share with you the note breakdown of this fragrance. And again, we got to take it with a grain of salt when it comes from Fragrantica. But so we have marigold, cardamom, elemi, cedar, lavender, black pepper, tonka bean, vetiver, and patchouli. Of course, this is a very spicy scent. As soon as you spray it, you smell the cardamom. It is no joke. And when I tell you the cardamom is so well done, it is absolutely beautiful. It's interesting because it's a Y3 fragrance, so you would think that it would be a sporty scent, and it's completely not. There's nothing kind of, when I think of this fragrance, I don't think this is a fragrance that I'm gonna go running in. This is a fragrance I'm gonna play basketball in. This is a fragrance I'm gonna play handball in. This is not a fragrance I'm gonna do anything athletic at all in, you know? And it's interesting that it has the label Y3, which is definitely like the more at what it used to be. I don't know, is Y3 really popping to people today? I don't know. But when it was really like, you know, that thing, I never really can imagine it fitting the style of Y3, but it is what it is. It came out, it smells great, and a lot of people didn't even talk about it. Look at the ratings. I mean, look at these reviews, just like about 6, 7, 8 reviews. It's ridiculous. Definitely a hidden gem. It's a scent that if you can find it, I would definitely consider catching it. It's not a scent that I think you'll hate. It's going to be a fragrance that's really, really difficult to hate. So it's kind of easy to blind buy the scent. And I think I would be wearing this fragrance in the evening. It's just going to do a great job at night. You can also wear this in the daytime, but I really, really love the spices for like a warm night. You know, it's not going to be like a aggressive spice. It's not like a long lasting fragrance. It does last, but it's not a beast. So you can wear this in the heat and it's not going to make you feel suffocated. But yeah, very versatile, very beautiful, really, really well done. Y3 black label. On point fragrance. Okay, so moving right along. So I'm going to share with you something that I recently just found out about. It's going to be a day fragrance that I'm going to be wearing. I'm going through this bottle and I don't know whether I'll be buying another one, but I still want to share it with you all because it is absolutely an amazing fragrance. I don't know if I'm going to buy another one of them because this is a fragrance that in my opinion could be more pretty than not. And I prefer not to smell pretty, but I still love this fragrance. I think it's just so well done. It's from a brand that I've been really, really discovering recently, thanks to a great friend of mine named Simone. She gratefully shared with me a fragrance that they made, the Mousse Arashiyama, this particular fragrance from Le Jardin Retrouvé. So Le Jardin Retrouvé was a hit at this year's Essence in Milan, and they created a fragrance that is getting a ton of press love and appreciation, and it's called Osmanth Lu Yuan. And this is the fragrance. This is the way it looks. Lu Yuan, or Lu Yuan. Yeah, Lu Yuan. I hope I am doing that properly, guys. It is Mandarin, and I love the way Mandarin sounds, but I can't say things really properly. Well, I'm better than most. I'll put it that way, um, because I really really like the way Mandarin sounds. But anyway, this is an amazing take on Osmanthus. Funny thing. I used to work for a company, as you all know, Atelier Cologne. And Atelier Cologne is going to be making a feature on this list. But a long time ago, I worked for Atelier Cologne, a couple of years ago actually, and they did a fragrance called Love Osmanthus, and it was a really nice scent, right? But it was no osmanthus at all. It was not a really great osmanthus fragrance. It was definitely more peachy than osmanthus. It was very pretty. It lasts for minutes on skin. And it was a nice scent, but it was just a disappointing release, I would say, overall. And definitely basic compared to all of the citruses that they did previously. And I hope that L'Oreal doesn't like try to steal their severance from me for saying that. But anyway, um, um, but yeah. Anyway, allegedly, that's not going to work for this one. But anyway, Louis Yuan, the Osmant Louis Yuan is by a brand called Le Jardin Retrouvé. And this fragrance was doing Osmanthus the way Osmanthus needs to be done. I got to put it to you like that. It is really well done. It is on the pretty side, I got to admit. There is something about this fragrance that definitely does come across pretty. That doesn't mean that it's not wearable for a guy, of course, but you know, it's going to take a guy with a certain confidence to pull it off. And I am a very confident man. I do say so myself. But even for me, I find that this fragrance, well, you know what? I might play with it a little bit more. Like, I'm sure if I were to add, like, maybe this and I don't know what or molecule, it might butch it up a little bit. And that's actually a great idea. I might do that. But I just love the way this fragrance is special. I'm just going to put it to you like that. It's special. Now, maybe it not be for you. Maybe it may be for the ladies out there. Maybe it might be for your ladies out there and guys who are confident, who really like to smell clean, fresh, and attractive in the heat. You're definitely going to be told you smell great when you wear this scent. It is absolutely attractive. The ratings definitely speak to the quality and the attractiveness of the fragrance. 4.24 out of 5. But of course, that's only 17 votes. It came out this year. It was a big deal in Essence. There's been tons of articles written about it. A couple definitely on Fragrantica. This gentleman, Maxence Moot, I don't know, Moot. Anyway, this guy right there, he's really, I think, a very talented perfumer. He did the Mousse Arashiyama, and he did this fragrance, Osmant Louis Yuan, and both are absolutely insane experiences. This brand, Le Jardin Retrouvé, I think is trying to reinvent themselves and make themselves more relevant. And I think with this perfumer and what they're creating, I think they're on their way to doing that. Definitely keep your eye on this scent. The ingredients in it, citruses. You'll definitely smell that when you open this bottle and you smell the cap. You're going to get citruses. You're definitely going to get the osmanthus, the jasmine, the iris. It's backed up with apricot, which is naturally usually in the osmanthus as well. Osmanthus sometimes can come across like apricots, and it also has a leathery component to it as well. And they buttress both the apricot and the leathery scent of osmanthus with apricot and leather notes. And of course, musk in the base. Does it smell pretty? Yes. Does it smell perfumey? No. It doesn't have that ingredient that you'll find in those, you know, in the women's section of Sephora. I'll put it that way. It doesn't come across like it belongs in a women's section of Sephora, but it definitely does come across like a very fresh, clean, pretty leaning fragrance. I think though on a lot of men's chemistry, it will not come across or read as pretty as it does on a lot of women. But God, does it smell attractive. If you don't want this for yourself, understood. Get this for the lady in your life and just smell her neck. Thank me later. That's it. Thank me later. um, so, a fragrance that I'm going to be wearing in the evening, guys. Speaking of the brand Atelier Cologne, Atelier Cologne, it is called Rosendo. Guys, so I have a love relationship with Rosendo. To me, Rosendo is one of the best creations Atelier Cologne ever made, especially the extrait version. If you guys could get your hands on the metal bottle of Rosendo extrait, it's probably one of the best rose fragrances that a man can consider. It's one of the best rose fragrances that a woman can consider. It's one of my favorite rose fragrances of all time. This version is a lot more light. This version is a lot more fresh. And a lot of people prefer this over the extrait version, but I absolutely dig both. The extrait version is my favorite, of course, but this one right here, I feel like Rosendo is like the perfect fragrance for a person who hates rose. If you hate rose, if you think roses make you smell like an old lady, if you think rose reminds you of like bathrooms and whatnot, get your nose on this perfume. It's not as easy to find anymore, of course, because Atelier Cologne is defunct in the US and Canada so far. They are relaunched and rebranded, and they're doing their thing in Asia currently. And I'm sure they'll be coming back very soon because they have a really cool catalog of perfumes that are worthy of attention. Unfortunately, my favorites have been discontinued, and I doubt they're coming back because, and I'm definitely going to get my severance screwed, but you know, certain companies do things certain ways. I'll just put it that way. So the fragrances that are most impressive, that are the most artistic, are usually the ones that get the boot. Are usually the ones that get, canned and thrown to the curb, and that's unfortunate. But guys, I don't think they'll ever, if that brand ever comes back, I would be so surprised if this fragrance is not in the catalog. And if it's not, somebody needs to get fired over there in L'Oreal. But anyway, guys, this fragrance right here, it is absolutely amazing. It's a dark rose. Just imagine, and I always said this to my clients who came to Atelier Cologne's boutique in Nolita. Imagine plucking a rose from the rose bush, digging it along wet earth, taking a deep breath of that soil, that petal, that dewy rain experience, taking all that in. That's literally what this fragrance smells like. It doesn't come across grandma. It comes across dark, seductive, very attractive. Not a spicy rose, not overly spicy, I would say, but just really sexy and beautiful. Again, a rose for people who do not like rose. And one of the things I also like about it, it definitely sticks around. This is not like a rose that's going to be like off your skin too quickly. Although I can't really speak to, I definitely do feel like this fragrance was reformulated. I'm not going to even lie. I really like the way it was previously, but I still think the reformulated version was worthy of consideration also. A beautiful take on rose. Again, a rose for people who don't like rose. I disagree with this rating. I definitely think it's an above 4 experience. It has Turkish rose, agarwood. The oud does not smell stinky at all. The patchouli is definitely present. There's a lot of papyrus, opoponax, benzoin ginger, and bergamot. Definitely get the oud in this scent, but it's not overly oudy at all. And look at that. The fact that it's trending down means a lot. It says a lot. It says a lot about, well, how the brand was handled, and it says a lot about the fact that Atelier Cologne had a really interesting identity crisis. It was all about the freshies, but they really did a lot of darker fragrances, well, also like Rose and M. And no one really cared. No one really focused on it. And that's unfortunate. And yeah, it definitely has a nice longevity, but this is definitely going to be a fragrance that I'm pulling off in the heat. And as you can see, guys, definitely not a fragrance that comes across on the pretty side for most people. Definitely a fragrance I would say is very unisex, very man, woman, whoever can wear this fragrance. But guys, you see this bottle right here? You see this right here? Ugh. And this bottle is under $100. The fact that you could get this fragrance for under $100 is theft. It's theft. It's crazy. This bottle used to cost well, actually, what was it? This bottle used to cost $290. Yeah. And now it's $94. It's insane. If you can find this bottle for under $100, get it, smell it. If you don't like it, put it on eBay. Somebody else will purchase it. It's that great. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. But I definitely think this is a great, great fragrance. Rose and the Nim X-Ray is even better, but Rose and the Nim, an amazing night out. Rose. And as you can tell, there's a theme going on. I really do like rose fragrances for the heat, especially when they have a freshness to them and they're not too green. I prefer like dark rose fragrances for nights out in the heat. Another beautiful, easy, breezy, clean fragrance from the house of Loewe. The scent is called Agua. And that's really it. It's just called Agua, water. And guys, on skin, this fragrance makes you feel absolutely refreshed. I am a huge fan of Loewe's Agua. When I wear this fragrance, I just feel refreshed. It's relaxing, it's clean, effervescent. It smells like fragrances you've smelled. It's executing it though in an amazing way, especially for a fragrance that's under $160 for a 100 ml. This scent is beautiful, guys. It features obviously a lot of citrus, but what makes this scent also beautiful is the use of ginger. Ginger is one of my favorite notes to use in fragrance, and I'm a huge fan of that. This fragrance also uses, well, no, excuse that. It has not ginger, it has pepper, but it smells like ginger in here. On Fragrantica, it says spicy notes. But anyway, here, let me show you guys. I'm sure there's ginger in this scent because it just smells like that spice of ginger. And so, Agua from Loewe, beautiful scent. Again, this particular bottle, the yellow one, just look for that, and Agua, that's all it is. It's considered a citrus, fresh, spicy, green scent. 4.04 out of 5, definitely could see that. I think this fragrance is a really great option. And for a scent that was made in 2000, it is a fragrance that definitely smells modern. You could easily see this being worn today because it smells like it was made yesterday. It literally smells like it could have been made this year. And that's why I also like it because it's first of all done by Olivier Cresp, one of the best perfumers in the world of fragrance. But what I love about this scent is it's just a timeless experience. 10 years from now, this fragrance will still be wearable and relevant. But the thing I love about it, people don't talk about it. People don't really focus on it. So again, it allows you to smell appealing, relatable, easy breezy, but you're not smelling basic. You're not smelling common, you know. It has bergamot, yuzu, tangerine, palisandra, rosewood, tea, spicy notes, which I swear I think is ginger, white pepper, cedar, white musk, sandalwood, and amber. Does have a nice little base of woods and musk, but it's not a very strong scent. Definitely in the moderate, and I agree with this Consumer Report suggestion. It's definitely more on the moderate side. It's not going to be a screamer, but when you are wearing a fragrance in 95 plus degree weather, you don't need to be wearing a fragrance that screams because the sun is going to amplify whatever you're wearing anyway. All you got to do is just take the fragrance with you. It's not going to last forever, but you know, spray it in a decant, put that decant in your pocket, and do your thing when you feel like your fragrance is calming. This is a scent worthy of the Chure. It's just a really clean, fresh, easy, breezy option that I don't see how you can dislike. I mean, you really have to dislike citrus to not like it. And the citrus is not there forever. It calms down. It's definitely more on the refreshing, clean, citrusy vibes. But, oh, and that's the other thing I love about Loewe, the sprayers. Look at that. For a fragrance that you can get for 160 or less, that is a seriously beautiful sprayer. Like, that's beautiful, guys. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Love it. Yeah, guys. So, Agua, Loewe, amazing. Beautiful, refreshing, not too expensive, not too common. You're going to smell insane with this on. And for the evening, I'm going to be wearing what you know of, guys. I'm going to be wearing Lyric Man for the evening. Yes, guys. I got to tell you, though, when I first smelled this scent, right? When I first smelled this scent, I was like, Granny, where are you? I was like, where is Granny at? I could swear I smell her. I think she's hiding under the sofa. Where's she at? This was so grandma-esque to me when I first smelled it. I mean, I cannot deny, like it was very grandma adjacent when I smelled it for the first time. But I've grown to really, really appreciate Lyric Man by Amouage because when you smell a bunch of rose fragrances, and I've smelled a ton of them, there's very few rose fragrances that has a distinction, that has a unique quality, that has never been duped, redone, remade by a new brand. It feels like every rose fragrance has been done and done multiple times. But this is a rose fragrance that doesn't smell like any other rose fragrance. Can women wear this? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is it pretty though? No. It's definitely more on the handsome side. This is definitely more of a handsome fragrance. And that's why I dig it. It's just really, really well done. But yeah, some of the roses in this fragrance to some noses is definitely going to read mature old woman. But I feel like though when I wear this fragrance, I don't get granny vibes anymore. I get rich, elevated, beautiful, dark, incensey rose. I just feel like this fragrance is on another level. It's a pedestal scent. It's a rose that definitely requires confidence to wear, but when you wear it, it's easy to be confident because you're just not going to smell like anyone. You're going to smell expensive. You're going to smell like a boss when you wear this. And a boss would easily wear Lyric Man. It's clearly one of the best rose fragrances ever made. And I'm not saying that because I own this bottle. I feel like it's literally a fact. I mean, subjectively, it's a fact to me. I just think this scent is absolutely insane. And when I wear it, it just smells expensive. It smells luxurious. It just really, really smells luxurious. An amazing experience, in my opinion. Lyric Man, an oldie but goodie by the House of Amouage. When I smell this scent, guys, though, let me check out the ingredient list of Amouage. Amouage Lyric Man. I mean, everybody has seen this fragrance before, but of course, for those of you who have never, ever, ever did any research on this scent, I'm gonna share with you some research about this scent. All right, so this particular fragrance is a rose citrus musky fragrance. It has a great rating of 4.16 out of 5 with 3,000 plus votes. That is absolutely really difficult to do because a lot of people have really crappy taste, and the more people vote, the more, I think, unreliable sometimes a rating can be. But even withstanding that, look at how many people find this fragrance at least a 4.5 and over. It had to be a ton of people. And it is a great fragrance made by a man named Daniel Vicentin. Never heard of this particular guy, but he did a lot of fragrances for Amouage. Well, he did Myth and Lyric. Fascinatingly, I'm shocked that this person did this one scent for Amouage along with Myth, and that's it, because this fragrance definitely has the vibe of what Amouage is all about. I think he did an amazing job in that respect. So this fragrance is lime and bergamot, rose, angelica, ginger, saffron, orange blossom, nutmeg, galbanum, musk, incense, pine, tree, sandalwood, vanilla. It is not a bee scent. It used to be. Nowadays, it's a little bit more on the lighter side. As you can see, it's trending slightly upward. It's tailing off, but it's still trending, I think, in a upward trajectory still. I think you can argue, you know, that little swoop right there at the end. But it's a really great scent. It has longevity. Again, I think a lot of these ratings in terms of longevity is referring to when the fragrance was not reformulated and had, I think, non-magnetic caps. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, yeah. So before they were magnetic caps, they were a lot stronger. This bottle is not a magnetic cap, and it does have a strength to it, I gotta admit. So I have like a pre-reformulated bottle, as you can see. But yet, beautiful, beautiful experience of rose. Definitely for an advanced experience, definitely for advanced taste and fragrance. This is not your entry level scent. This is not a scent that I would offer someone who's just getting into perfume. You know, if your niche level right now is like BDK, Aventus, Creed, Mise en Cire, those are like really interesting entry level brands that offer, well, I shouldn't even say that. Mise en Cire, I kind of am like, eh. But those are a lot of brands that are just like, oh, MFK, Killian. To me, those are entry level niche brands. Parfum de Marly. And this is not entry level niche. This is definitely like a person who's been around the block when it comes to fragrance and putting his nose or her nose to scents. This is someone who definitely is smelled around, and can experience and understand why this scent is great. You probably won't get this fragrance if you're starting out your journey. You just probably won't. You'll probably be forcing yourself to like it. But once you graduate to a certain level of, I guess, exposure to scent, this fragrance will make a lot of sense to you when it comes to the reason why a lot of people hold it in high esteem. You'll get why after a while. Maybe not when you're starting out, but as you go along, it's a great scent. And finally, guys, one of my favorite niche fresh fragrances is from the man Rosendo Mateu. And it's so sad that this man actually passed away, I think last year or early this year. I cannot recall. But gotta admit, I really, really dig this fragrance, and it is a beauty. It is basically, it's number 3. Number 3 by, oops, am I blinding you all? Number 3 by Rosendo Mateu Neroli Iris White Musk. Guys, wow. It is so beautiful, man. That's all I can tell you. So, I don't really like powdery fragrances. I find like powdery scents to be like, it's not my thing. Not my thing at all. But this is a powdery fragrance I really, really like, right? There's just something a little bit extra to it that just makes it really cool and not so boring and not so old lady powder makeup poof ball type. I don't get that from this. This iris, this neroli, this white musk is clean, it's powdery, but damn, it's beautiful. Men can wear this, women can wear this. You're gonna smell great in this. You do have to appreciate a powdery fragrance, I gotta admit, but it is good. The neroli in this fragrance is what I really, really dig about it. Neroli is one of my favorite fragrances to wear in the day in heat. Um, but what also I love about this fragrance is white musk. The white musk in this scent is killing. It is killing. So this is Rosendo Mateu #3. Rosendo, excuse me. I don't know why I'm butchering this man's name. Rosendo Mateu is #3, powdery, woody, musky. Definitely woody, definitely powdery, definitely musky. Tunisian neroli, Sicilian bergamot, iris, jasmine, damask, rose. And of course, white musk, right? That's missing in this breakdown with vetiver, sandalwood, vanilla, cashmere wood, and tonka amber. So tonka and amber, I don't get that. I definitely get the vanilla. There is definitely a creaminess to this scent as it dries down. It's very, very unique. That's another reason why I think this fragrance is so cool. Um, it has a powderiness to it in the beginning, especially, but then it goes into a warmth that I find cool also. This is a fragrance that could easily go from day to night. Like you can wear this from a hot day to a warm evening with ease. #3 is very, very, very easy to complement, very easy to wear. You don't, when you smell this, you know you're not buying a fragrance that you can get anywhere. This is definitely not a scent that you can find most places. Like if I smell this on someone, I would know it's an expensive fragrance because it just doesn't smell like something you can get most places. So the person wearing this definitely either has great taste in fragrance or knows someone who does. That's all I can say about that. And I get you, brother. I saw Micah's comment right now talking about how Fragrantica is awful these days. Absolutely, it is the pits. But sometimes they do help, you know. I don't really focus on Fragrantica to kind of like, I don't use Fragrantica to kind of like give credibility to what I think. I just use Fragrantica to find out like what people think about longevity, because I find that that's probably one of the most useful things Fragrantica has. Like, because most people can tell you if a fragrance is light or strong, you know. So I find that sometimes it can be helpful to get an idea of how a fragrance acts on most people's skin. So in that respect, I find Fragrantica very useful. Who made it, the perfumer, the year it was made. You know, usually you'll find a press blurb from the company, and you know, some people, I do have a few reviewers that I respect. So if I can look through the reviewer breakdown and I see certain people on there, I'll read the review. You know, most reviews on Fragrantica I don't read at all. And actually, that could be a really fun video to read all the stupid things people have to say about fragrances on Fragrantica. That'd be a fun video, absolutely funny as hell. I might actually work on that, we'll see. Okay guys, but we're getting to the end, and my last fragrance, the fragrance that I'm gonna be wearing, the fifth fragrance that I'm gonna be wearing in the evenings, in the summer, is from the house again of Amouage, and that scent is Lyric Woman. And I'm so glad that I saved this fragrance for last. You know why, guys? Because this is a freaking awesome rose. One of my favorite rose fragrances in the world of perfume. I think this fragrance is even better than Lyric Man. I still think that. It's warm, it's spicy, it's woody, it's rosy, it's beautiful. People sleep on Lyric Woman because, of course, it's made for women. At least it doesn't say it on the bottle, right? You know? You know? Basically, this company is from Oman, and the culture, of course, in that part of the world, men and women want to know what things are made for. They want to know, you know, this was made for you, a man, this was made for you, a woman. But what I find is so interesting about Amouage is most of their fragrances, regardless of who they say it was made for, can be worn by anyone, period. There are a few fragrances that are definitely on the prettier side, but depending on your skin, depending on your chemistry, a lot of guys could pull it off, you know. But this fragrance can easily be pulled off by most guys without question. Lyric Woman, just forget the name, focus on the bottle, focus on the scent, I should say. This is a seriously beautiful fragrance. This fragrance features so many amazing ingredients. That's the bottle. That's what it looks like. This bottle has a 4.1 rating out of 5 with 3,326 votes, the majority of which are women who, a lot of which say this fragrance smells masculine. It was made by Daniel Morel, and he designed fragrances like Memoir Woman, which is like one of the best women's fragrances from Amouage. Epic Woman, which is another amazing fragrance from Amouage. All three fragrances this man designed for women are considered some of the best fragrances for women from the brand, especially when it was not trying to be what it is trying to be today, which is like a fragrance brand that appeals to as many people as possible. This fragrance brand, when Daniel made these three seriously amazing scents for Amouage, they weren't trying to be everything to everyone. But look at this note breakdown. Again, here we go with cardamom rearing its amazing head. Cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, bergamot, rose, geranium, ylang ylang, orris root, angelica, jasmine, incense, sandalwood, musk, woody notes, patchouli, tonka bean, oak moss, vanilla, and vetiver. It's green, it's spicy, it is warm, but there's a little bit of freshness there for sure. And it definitely has a little bit of airiness coming from the incense. Sometimes you think incense comes across smoky, and I get that, but sometimes it has a breathiness to it. It adds a breathiness to a scent, even though it's like a warm breathiness. It's a warm, fresh in a way. But I gotta say, I really, really, really love this fragrance. When I first smelled the Lyric Man and Lyric Woman, I preferred Lyric Woman over Lyric Man, and it was the first Lyric that I bought. I bought Lyric Woman first, and then I ended up buying Lyric Man, and I gotta tell you, I am absolutely grateful that I did not let the fact that it had a woman label on the box deter me from this scent. It just smells so well made. It doesn't have like, you know, so Oud Satin Mood, Portrait of a Lady, um, a lot of rose fragrances that have a jamminess to them. Uh, that could be an easy direction a brand can go down. But that's not what this brand did with Lyric Woman. It has a sweetness to it, but it's not overly sweet. The rose in this fragrance is absolutely front and center. It is definitely hanging out for a minute. But what I love about it, just those amazing, amazing spices. This fragrance is just something that is just going to smell great on a man, great on a woman. I think it'll probably fit a lot of men very, very well. And I definitely think a lot of guys should consider it. Get a sample, smell this fragrance. It is special. It is special, and I've always thought it. I just am, I'm so glad that I purchased this fragrance. You know, I'm so, so glad that I got it. I'm very, very, very impressed. Very impressed. So yeah, guys, those are my 5 fragrances for the summer days, 5 fragrances for summer evenings that I'm gonna be wearing. I really am curious what fragrances you guys are gonna be wearing for the summer. And that's not all I'm wearing for the summer, but you know, I had to do a video, so those are some of the scents that I'm definitely putting on my skin for sure. Those are scents that are getting on the queue, and they're getting beat up. I love going back now to the chat. Let's see. Took me a minute to love Toy Boy, Sean Lockett wrote. I could hear that, bro. When I first smelled Toy Boy, I ain't gonna lie. When I first smelled Toy Boy, I immediately liked it. I'm not gonna front. I immediately liked it. And why I immediately liked it? Because I'm a sucker for the scents that I think smell tea-like. Tea experiences and fragrance is one of my favorite experiences in fragrance. Camellia Entrepide by Atelier Cologne is probably one of the best fragrances that brand made that no one knew. And it was a black tea scent. Toy Boy has like this interesting tea with rose petal type of scent to me. It is very beautiful. It reminds me of tea. And I guess that's probably why I'm a little partial. I'm a little bit biased. Maybe because I like the scent of tea and that fragrance smells like tea to me. Maybe that's, the end and all to the reason why I love it. But I really feel like it's worthy of attention because it's at least something that's not typical. It's at least trying to do something different. And that's the interesting thing. As the fragrance community is interesting, we crap on fragrances that smell been there, done that. And we crap on fragrances that smell interesting and they're trying to do things differently. Like, I gotta admit, I hate the bottle. And obviously I hate the bottle because I still ain't put the cap on, but I gotta say, I hate this bottle, but this is a really, really well made, well done fragrance for a brand that's not considered like a top echelon designer house for fragrance. If Dior did this, I would be like, wow, that's a great fragrance from Dior. If Chanel did this, I'd be like, wow, that's a great fragrance from Chanel. Moschino did this. Moschino, the fragrance brand that does fragrances in like Windex bottles, guys. Like, they did this. It's worthy of praise. It's worthy of praise. Like, you cannot say, damn, where are the unique, interesting scents for guys? And then when brands do them, you just crap on it because it's like, it's like, I mean, it's not going to be for everyone, obviously, right? But you got to appreciate the direction, the risk that it took to do something different for a guy in 2021, 22, whenever this brand made this fragrance. I mean, like, I'm not one that likes things easily. I'm not one that finds things cool often, but I cannot knock this. This is definitely crap bottle impressive juice, especially for a brand that is climbing the ladder trying to become a lot more relevant in the world of fragrance. Like, this is a great release. Like, this is a great release. This is a great release, period. I mean, again, maybe it's because of the bottle. Looking at this bottle, it's easy to hate this, right? It's easy to be like, this is part of that agenda. Agenda. It smells great, guys. It smells great, period. It smells good. And not only does it smell good, it smells interesting. It doesn't smell like what we've constantly smelled. A niche brand could have made this and charged $200 and people would have bought it. And probably would have bought it with no question, honestly. This doesn't smell basic designer to me. I don't know. Maybe it does to you. And the sprayer, that's not a designer sprayer either. Yeah, man. I don't know what you're smelling. If you crap on this, I don't know what you're smelling. It's a beautiful night out rose. It's like a dark, spicy rose. Like, this is great. I don't know. I really don't know. It's on point to me. They put their foot in that. They did their thing. Took me a minute to like Toy Boy. I get you. Toy Boy is horrible. JB, I get you, my man. It's not for everyone. Like I said, it's not for everyone. But your nose knows best. If it's horrible to you, it's horrible, period. That's just the bottom line. If you hate it, hate it. It's not worthy for your skin. But I definitely feel like it's a fragrance that's easy to recommend because it's what I would like more brands to do. Take more risks, do things that are a little bit outside the norm, or for the public, something that we need, not something we want, because most of us don't know what we want and most of us have crap taste. So what we want shouldn't even really be that focused on, because like if you did a focus group and the people in the focus group don't like fragrance, that explains why we get the same old stuff in designer brands. If you did a focus group of people who were enthusiasts and companies went with what they thought, we would have better options to consider in the world of fragrance. So clearly, basic taste is the reason why we have basic options, you know. So yeah, I gotta say, at least Toy Boy, they're doing things in a shit. The marketing is clearly the bottle, right? The bottle is trying to be like that option that women will buy for their partners, or a bottle that guys would want for their male partners, But at the end of the day, it's a worthy fragrance. Period. It's just a really well done scent. Um, let's see. Seems like rose is your jam. I think this year, bro, I really feel like that is gonna be like. I've been really getting into rose recently. I love that. That that oh my god, potion, royal potion black, or royal black, by D squared. Oh man, this fragrance right here, guys, it's really hard to find, but if you can get your fingers on this, oof, are you a blessed person? This fragrance right here is unbelievable. This could be done by a designer, by a niche house, and it was done by D Squared when? Let me see. 2013, 10 years ago. This scent could be done by a niche house, and it could be $200+, and it would be a popular fragrance in that brand's collection of scents. It doesn't smell like what designer houses are doing now. It smells way above what designer houses are doing right now, and it was done by D Squared 10 years ago. Um, great fragrance, great rose scent, and yeah. So guys, I'm definitely getting into rose. Rose is my thing. I'm really a fan of rose, but I don't like, again, dewy roses. I don't like roses that smell like makeup powder or granny soaps in the bathroom that you can't touch. I'm not into that rose, but I like a sexy dark rose. Those really work. Um, let's see. I like these options. Royal Mayfair, Rose 31, Poal, Antaeus, Noir de Noir, Roses de Jamal, Egoist. They're some of your favorites. Micah, great options, man. Royal Mayfair, very slept on. Rose 31, definitely a classic. Antaeus, what do you say? Those are all sick options. Noir de Noir is so slept on. Still one of the better Tom Ford options for sure. Um, Toy Boy for sale. Oh no. I love it. Toy Boy for sale. Yes, guys, if you want to sell Toy Boy, this is the video to push it, because I'm talking about it in positive light and light. I'm putting it in a positive light. So if you're trying to sell that bottle, you might as well put it in this video that you're trying to sell that bottle. Eau de Rochas, definitely a great fragrance. Beautiful, beautiful scent. YouTube perfumers are still not outside the box. Ooh, shots fired. Oh no, Sama'at, YouTube perfumers are still not outside the box? What do you mean by that, my man? You didn't like, I smelled that Terra Nova fragrance by Malik Malul, or Mike Malul, with Ashton, and I thought it was not bad, especially for the price point. It's not what I would expect, but it's not bad. I was expecting my man Ashton to do something that was just really, really like special, you know. But he did something that was easy breezy and entry level. And I think even though it was an easy breezy entry level fragrance, it was definitely better than a lot of fragrance that it competes with. So I was actually impressed with Turnover. Also, I was impressed because, like, to me, it smells like a style of fragrance that's on the market, but it smells better than a lot of those fragrances. So I had to admit that. Yes, it smells been there, done that, but at least it's being done in a way that's not like a complete. It's being done better than most. Yeah. More of the same. Oh my God. Have you smelled Eugene's fragrances? No, I have not. I really dig Eugene though, and I feel like Eugene scents would have like, well, I expect if Eugene had anything to do with a fragrance, that it's gonna smell very, very expensive. It's gonna smell very niche. I don't think he'll do fragrances that are gonna appeal to most noses. I think he's gonna definitely do that stinky cheese type of scent, which I kind of am here for. I love it. I love a stinky cheese when it comes to fragrance. I don't mind easy, breezy, entry level fragrances, intermediate scents, but I love an advanced fragrance. I love a fragrance that take advanced taste to appreciate. And I don't mean like my taste is better than someone who's starting out or anything, but you expose your nose to more things, your tastes grow. Your ability to identify quality from non-quality is just a lot higher. So yeah, I like a stinky cheese at this point in my phase, in my stage in my fragrance line. I mean, in my fragrance journey, I love a stinky cheese. I love a basic entry level scent too, don't get me wrong, but I'm sure Eugenius is doing some stinky shit. Let's be real. If you love rose, try Les Indomables. I love trying to say this brand. But man, do I always have hiccups when I try. Rich Mitch, thanks so much for putting this out there to say. Les Indomables. Indomables. Les Indomables. Les Indomables. Les Indomables. Whatever. That brand. I need to get my nose on more of them. I'm really, really, really curious about that company. But yeah, more of the same for sure. Summer-eyed. A lot of things are definitely more of the same. Um, it's funny how your noses changes over time for sure. You start off, like I said, like when I started my journey, I had a very basic taste. And it elevated. The more I exposed my nose to more things, the more I appreciated harder to appreciate fragrances. I started to appreciate the scents that challenged me over the fragrances that just were nice. So I rather challenge the public nowadays. Like I like wearing fragrances that no one would consider wearing in a group, in a crowd. Like I like being that weirdo wearing the weirdo scent that no one understands and everyone's like, who's wearing that? Like I love that. Like I'd prefer to wear that than like Acqua di Gio Profumo, personally. Not that there's anything wrong with Profumo. Profumo is amazing. It's actually better than most Acqua di Gios, but I'd rather smell weird to people than nice. Like I told you guys, like weird stands out. Nice, forgettable. Um, try this one. Oh my God. See, you're playing games with me, Micah, right? Um, he's like, try this one. Okay. Um, les abstraits, la douleur esquisse. Les abstraits, la douleur esquisse. Definitely don't know that brand either. Done with you, Micah. Stop it, man. Stop it. Love wearing Kuros to work. My God, bro. Smelling like pee at work. Why not? A woman said to me one day in a club, like I smelled like a cat box. So I could definitely see wearing that and getting similar responses. Funny how everyone at my job goes crazy for Creed or Baccarat Rouge. Yes, absolutely. That is the thing. Everyone goes crazy for Creed or Baccarat Rouge. But I'm okay with that. I love that. The fact that people are wearing Creed so much and Baccarat Rouge so much means that they're getting over or getting past the simple, easy designer fragrances that are available to them. It means that people are expecting more from what they put on their skin. And I think that's actually a really great thing. And I'm glad that more people are graduating to those type of fragrances out of the gate, as opposed to, doing what I did, which is going for basic fragrances and getting more of the more basic stuff. I'm liking the fact that more people are, buying Baccarat Rouge, even though everyone owns it. Like, I applaud people who are getting into fragrance through that fragrance, and we should be glad that that's the case, because hopefully the more people are buying niche fragrances, the more designer brands will try to compete and try to get that market back and try to do things that will attract that customer. The more people are buying niche fragrances, the less designer fragrances will appeal to them. So I'm all for that evolution in the market, if you will. Um, so yeah, Les Abstraits is Eugene's brand. Okay, I'm really really curious. I think Eugene's. I'm curious. What do you guys think of Eugene's scents? Have you guys been smelling them? Basic beginnings are great, without question. Like, my basic beginning, honestly, though, like what took me down the road to where I'm at right now in this fragrance brand, this fragrance game, is Mugler. Mugler fragrances single-handedly made me fall in love with perfume. Amen, Pure Malt, Pure Havane. Those three fragrances single-handedly made me love fragrance. Amen was the first one because I love that tar note. That tar note in Amen just made me go, whoo. So even outside, like even from my beginning, I liked quirky. I liked fragrances that allowed me to not smell basic. I liked fragrances that stood out. And you really, really can't stand out more in the designer world than like Comme des Garçons or Mugler, especially what they used to do. I don't know where Mugler is at now. L'Oreal owns them. I'm a little nervous. I don't have faith in L'Oreal to make Mugler, to keep Mugler where they are in terms of respect, in terms of like creating fragrances and maintaining the aesthetic of Mugler in the fragrance brand. I don't see L'Oreal doing that because I think they want to make everything attractive. When Mugler didn't make things that were always attractive, they made things that made a statement. And at least with Mugler, it should be L'Oreal's like brand that they can do fun, weird things with, and maintain it, because Mugler is such a brand that people respect and honor. It would be dope if L'Oreal was like, maybe we can use this brand to do like the weirdo sense or the interesting sense that we think the market should be considering, even though it's not a niche price point. Like, why would you want to add Mugler to your catalog if you're not trying to go down that road? L'Oreal. I swear they're gonna steal every dime from my from my severance after this video. But I'm not really destroying L'Oreal. I love L'Oreal. I love L'Oreal. L'Oreal did some really cool things. I can't knock them. But not always do I agree with the things they do when it comes to fragrances. Amen is discontinued, of course. Is it? Is it really discontinued? Hmm. Yeah, that's a shame. If Amen is discontinued, that would be one of the worst decisions I think they could ever have made. Um, that fragrance it's a legend. It's an absolutely legend. An absolute legend. Um, yeah. Like Thierry Mugler was like that first brand that made sweet scents for men. The first brand to make uber sweet fragrances for men that didn't smell feminine, that didn't come across as non-masculine. They were like the first brand to figure out how to make a sweet scent that most men liked. I mean, an amazing brand. So disgusted when I hear certain things about what's going on with the company, because man, and if I were the creative director for Mugler, the fragrances, oh my God, so many fun things you could do with that company. So many fun things. Like I said, you could come out with, you could make a male version to Womanity, call it Manity. even though that's kind of like a mammal. Whatever. They could figure it out. um, oh boy. Anyway, guys, I know I'm going a little over. But anyway, those are my favorite suggestions. I definitely think these were really, really cool. A lot of them really easy breezy in terms of price point. Really cool sense. Vertuesco, thank you so much. Gotta go. Oh no, if something happens to E, we'll know who to talk to. Yes, you will. L'Oreal did it. Anyway, I'm just joking. Guys, thank you so much for joining this episode. Episode 20 of Talking Fragrances, live from Bergdorf Goodman. It was a pleasure. Please hit the like button. Comment down when this video uploads onto YouTube. It was an absolute pleasure, guys. I hope you like the suggestions. I hope you can get your hands on some of them. They are insane. Alien Man is the only men's fragrance listed on the Mugler website. Absolute devastation. Pure malt, pure Havana, huge misses. Pure leather, all the pures. Pathetic, sad. Anyway, guys, have a good one. Be safe.